When you've got a camera that can fit inside your pocket and can capture 4K 60 quality footage, it encourages you to capture more. Hi, my name's Mark and this is the Insta360 Go Ultra. If there's one topic that interests you over another, here's a quick summary of what's in the video, and if you want to, you can jump straight to it. So, as you can see, this thing is really small. It's not unlike a GoPro or a DJI action camera. The size is very similar. It's light, it's compact, and it's easy to just put in your pocket or throw in your bag and get out there. But this is where it gets really cool. It can do this. So now you don't have a small camera, you've got a tiny camera. I cannot believe the size of this thing. Look, you can basically hold it on your fingertip if you've got good balance. The camera itself weighs 53 grams. If you had told me 10 years ago that we were going to have a camera this size and this light, I wouldn't have believed you. But here it is. It's got a removable lens. There's a couple of LEDs on here and on the top. One here and one on the top. Lets you know if the camera's in standby or it's recording. And when it's sitting in the action pod, it glows orange to let you know that it's charging. You can also adjust the brightness of those lights or turn them off completely if you want to be discreet about your recordings. There's a button on the front here that you can press that turns the camera on and off. It also allows you to push it and turn it on instantly and record. And unlike its predecessor, the Go 3S, this camera has removable storage of up to 2 terabytes, which is insane. Now the back of the camera here is magnetized, and that's what helps the camera snap into the action pod just like that. And it also allows you to stick it onto certain accessories just like this, just like that, but I'll get into that later. Because the back of the camera is magnetized, all you need is a little bit of steel to just stick it on and you've got a great angle. You can get some nice walk-by shots or just different angle of whatever you're doing. The camera itself is also waterproof. The action pod is not. So up to 10 meters this can go, but don't go swimming with the action pod or you're gonna have a really bad day. On the action pod itself, you've got a nice OLED screen on the back here that flips up so you can see yourself if you are recording. And you also have the option to turn the screen off and keep recording to save battery. And what's also cool about this design is you can take the camera out of the pod and you don't even need the pod with you. The two of them operate independently from one another. So you could leave this at home essentially and just take the camera with you, but you're only limited to 70 minutes of battery time. Whereas with the action pod, you can get up to 200 minutes. You've got your power button on the side here with a quick button that you can change in the settings. Your record button is here on the top, which you can also just press to turn the camera on and start recording instantly, which is what they call quick capture. There's an unlock button on the side here that releases the camera from the body itself. And there's also 2 mounting points on the bottom to stick to your accessories. I picked up the standard bundle, which comes with the magnetic pendant here and also a hat clip that you can stick the camera onto. I don't find the pendant so useful because the camera does tend to move around a fair bit when you walk or you run, so the footage can be quite shaky. I do find the hat clip a lot more useful because you don't have to stick it on a hat. You can basically stick it on anything with an edge. You could stick it on a belt, you could stick it on your wristwatch, and you can just bend the clip like this and you can get any angle you need. Yeah, just with the pendant, I also had trouble with, if you have a jacket on, if it sits here and you have a jacket on with the pendant, sometimes the jacket would get in the way of the shot and you wouldn't know until you looked at the footage later on. So that can be a bit of a pain. But yeah, hat clip for me is definitely a winner. It's a very versatile accessory. I think probably my favorite so far. I did pick up the bike strap. The bike strap is hella easy to use. It comes with an elastic rubber, making it a cinch to take on and off, so you don't need any tools to put that on or take off. And you can either mount the whole action pod on it or you can just do the camera itself. The camera has a new 1.28 inch sensor, so it lets a lot more light in than its predecessor. Having said that though, it's still best to use the camera outside only. Inside shots still have a little bit of visual noise in it. You can record up to 60 frames per second as opposed to the Go 3S, which was only 4K 30 FPS, which is a nice boost. And it also records in HDR. You can do slow-mo shots with the 2.7K at 120 or 1080p at 240. Now with all the shots you see in this video, I have set the option of high bitrate to on. I just wanted the best quality I could get out of the picture, obviously for this video, so you guys can see how good it is. The high bitrate will cut your available storage down by about half. You need to be aware of that. But if you aren't really fussed on having the highest quality picture and you just want as much usable storage as possible, then you can just leave it in the standard setting. The stabilization's great, it's worked well for me. For things like walking, cycling, just everyday vlogging, it's quite decent. There's also a standard option of a 10-degree horizontal lock for your everyday recording, and there are dedicated recording modes that lock the horizon even more. For photos, it's got a 50 megapixel sensor, which captures decent images, but when it comes to taking a photo of things up close, the clarity isn't as great. This is where the Titan toddler lens might come in handy. I do not have that lens, but I have heard that it clears up the focus on close-up shots quite a bit. So if you do want to get a close-up shot of your face or an object, you might need to pick up the Titan toddler pack. But I guess when it comes to photos, people aren't really buying this camera to compete in any photography competitions. So yeah, I don't really see that as much of an issue. So in my opinion, I think that this camera probably gives off the best quality picture that you'll find in any camera of this size. Now the sound quality in this camera, it's decent. It's not going to win any awards, but for everyday use, it's not so bad. Holy smokes. He's a big boy. He's a big boy. You know they're the most dangerous bears.
There's the...
So, as you can tell, I'm on a different camera here, but I have the 360 Go Ultra in my hand, and I will just give you a preview of what the audio sounds like. So the audio you're hearing from me now is from my Holyland Lark M2S, which is just attached here. But this is the audio from the Insta360 Go Ultra. As you can tell, it's a little bit windy today, but it's not too bad. The sound is okay. The wind reduction is on strong by default, so you can lower it to weak if you want, if you're just sitting around like this talking to the camera. And this is the audio from the Insta360 Go Ultra with the voice enhancement turned on. I just saw someone I knew. But you guys let me know if you hear much of a difference. You guys be the judge for yourselves and let me know in the comments what you think. Funnily enough, I think the Insta360 wireless mic doesn't connect with this camera as of yet. I do believe that they're upgrading the firmware on this camera very soon to allow that to happen. But I do think you can connect standard Bluetooth microphones to this camera. As far as I know, I think even DJI mics can connect to this camera, so that's a bit strange, but yeah. Let's get stuck into the shooting modes. For such a small camera, there are a lot of modes to choose from. Of course, you've got your standard photo and video modes, which I've already talked about. Then they have a mode called Pure Video, which basically improves the quality of the image in darker areas. It works pretty well. There is still a little bit of noise, but not as much as the standard video mode. There's also a mode called Free Frame Video, which allows you to record clips and choose what form you want them in later via the Insta360 Studio app. Now they also have this mode called Toddler Titan, which I don't really understand what it's for. I guess to record your kids. You do need to buy the Toddler Titan accessory kit, which comes with the lens and a clip that you can put on their hat. So with the lens, it does clear up the picture a little bit because it's so close to their face. I don't really understand why it's marketed for Toddler Titan mode only. I would think that the Toddler Titan lens would come standard. I don't know why they did it that way. You've also got a time shift mode, which you can record motion and speed it up, and your time lapse mode, which is pretty self-explanatory. Loop recording is making a comeback. It records clips for a predetermined amount of time, and it only keeps the latest clip it recorded. It's great if you're trying to catch something on camera, but you're not sure when it's going to happen. You got your slow motion, which records 2.7K at 120, or you've got 1080p at 240. You've got star lapse, which I guess is just to capture stars. I guess it lowers the shutter speed right down and gives you that blurry motion effect when you capture images. Burst photo. It's burst photo, what can I say? There's interval photos, which basically takes photos at certain intervals. And those are just ordinary modes. You've also got little bonus modes that you can find in the software. If you swipe down, there's a mode called pre-recording. So basically it's gonna keep recording, but it'll only save the last 30 seconds when you press the button. Again, it's kind of like loop recording. It kind of makes me wonder why they included loop recording again. I guess with loop recording though, you can record more than 30 seconds. With the pre-recording, you can only record up to 30 seconds. There's a mode called interval mode, which will record a predetermined amount of time at a set amount of time. So say you want to record 60 seconds of clips every 10 minutes. It's a bit of a gamble in this mode because you may lose out on a shot that you really want to capture, but it's not recording, so that mode really isn't for me. There's AI highlights, which I haven't really used. It uses AI in the Studio app, and it shows you the most important moments in your clips. And then apart from all those modes, you've also, it never ends. You've also got your different FOV modes. You've got action, mega, ultra, D-warp, linear, horizon lock. It's endless. There's so many different ways that you can shoot with this camera, and sometimes it feels a little bit overwhelming. But if you just take a step back and think about what you want to capture in the moment, take a deep breath, you'll get it. So what do you use this camera for? Well, I guess an easier question to answer would be, what don't you use it for? You're obviously not going to use it for a lot of night shots. Like I said earlier, the quality on the night shots, even in the pure video mode, it's not the best. You will get a fair bit of visual noise in your picture. It does have a 2x digital zoom on the camera. That is it. Don't go expecting great zoom in shots with this camera. You'll need to use something a little bit more zoomy, I guess. Just don't try and shoot things that are too far away from you. I'd say probably about 20 meters would be the max if you want to capture a shot of something good. Try and keep it close. The durability of this thing, I'm not going to say it's like a GoPro or a DJI Action. So don't go throwing the camera around. That's what I'm trying to say. It's one of those handy everyday cameras that you can, put in your pocket, throw in your bag, head out the door, and you're ready to capture. I will say this, if you are a person who hates holding a camera, or gets shy about recording things in public and you're a bit camera shy, you're a bit self-conscious that people are looking at you, this camera is an absolute game changer. When I was wearing this camera at the zoo, not a lot of people were looking at me because it's so small, it's so discreet. It's fantastic if you are scared that people are going to judge you, because chances are they won't even see the camera. So again, if you're shy, if you are nervous about using a camera in public and you want to capture life as it goes by, this camera is definitely for you. So what don't I like about the camera? I mean, there's not really a lot of things that I don't like about the camera. The SD card slot is a little bit fiddly. The door itself is very flimsy, so you don't want to put too much pressure on this door because it will probably break. The card itself is very hard to get out, especially for someone like me who has no fingernails ever. Yeah, that's it. So putting it back in is also hard for me. 1 second. Yeah, and that's it. So that is one of the things that I don't really like. Also, taking the camera out of the pod can be a little bit dangerous. You push the unlock button and it takes a fair amount of force to pull it out. And they didn't really, I guess it's a bit of an oversight, but they didn't really put anything on the camera itself, like a little groove to grab onto to pull the camera out. Basically, every time I pull this camera out, I use the rim of the lens to pull it out, which feels a little bit taboo to me, because should I really be pulling on the lens that much? I'm not really sure. And sometimes when you do try and pull it out, you force it out quite a bit, and the camera, there you go, I almost dropped the camera. The camera can either slip out of your hand or it will go flying. You never know. There is no removable battery on this camera, so the ability to hot swap a battery would have been cool, but I mean, you still get 200 minutes out of the action pod, which is quite decent. They also have support for Apple Find or Find My. I'm not sure what it's called. I'm not an Apple person, but they don't have anything for Android. Like, come on guys. Android normally has everything first. What's going on? I feel like all of the bad things about this camera are just tiny trade-offs compared to what you actually get. You get a tiny 4K 60 camera and you can put it almost anywhere. It's awesome. So overall, for beginners, even normal content creators, this camera is great. Like I said earlier, a game changer for people who are shy with a camera in public. It's very small, it's very discreet, not a lot of people are going to be looking at you, so it's one of those cameras that you need to pick up. If you have the Go 3S and 60 frames a second isn't that important to you, I would probably stick with that model. I wouldn't upgrade. If 60 frames per second is important to you, you should definitely pick it up, or if you have the cash, spare cash to use, why not? Just pick it up, it's a great camera. And that's about it. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like, subscribe. It would really help me out. I'm only starting YouTube now, so I know I'm late to the party, but you got to start somewhere. Also, leave a comment below and let me know if there's anything that I missed, if there is anything you want to know about the camera. I want to get better at this sort of thing, so let me know what I could have done, and let me know if you've got the Go Ultra, and tell me how you use the camera, because there's so many ways you can use this camera. It's awesome. I'm going to be using the camera a lot from here on, so you'll see a lot more footage in the upcoming videos. Anyway, that's it. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one.